So joining me now with more is Jim Thorne. He's the Chief Market Strategist at Wellington Altus. Jim, thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me today.
What do you make of this market?
Steady as she goes, we're going higher. And ignore the noise, fundamentals are good. We've got a vibe shift happening with Mr. Trump in. It's small government and pro-private sector, pro-innovation. We need to grow out of it, productivity growth. So ignore the noise and use the volatility to buy high-quality stocks.
What are some high-quality stocks on your radar?
Well, I think, NVIDIA, the AI trade is still full steam ahead. I like banks. I like utilities. I think high-quality U.S. stocks is where to go.
Interesting. Now, of course, we had seen yesterday some selling due to the artificial intelligence scare with DeepSeek, a Chinese AI competitor, if you will. But my guest earlier was telling me that still yesterday, 70% roughly of the broader market was higher. So I'd like you to speak more about those fundamentals, the DeepSeek aside, that do show that this market, by and large, can continue rising.
Yes, I think the market is starting to recognize the fact that Mr. Trump's policies are more moderate than previously expected, which we should have a period of time where we get a broadening breadth in the market, and that's what we're seeing right now. Mm-hmm. And what I would just suggest to you is that with the Fed coming this week, the big risk is not 2025, it's 2026, and the fact that the Fed right now is making a real-time policy mistake by not continuing to cut rates. So we should be okay this year, but next year is where the big question is.
Why is that a mistake, and what could that portend for 2026?
Well, the rate cuts that should happen this week will not be felt until 27. The drugs of the Biden administration of the irresponsible fiscal policy is going to start to wear off. So when you look at the data objectively, the economic growth we're experiencing is a mirage caused by 125% debt to GDP. That's going away. If you look at the labor data, it's weaker than expected. If you look at inflation, when you take out shelter, it's at target. So the Fed should be at neutral, or what we call R star, which is 275. They're too tight. And that is the big mistake. As the drugs wear off in terms of the fiscal policy from last year, and we have an excessive tightness this year, the rates that we are dealing with this year were set 18 to 24 months ago. So the big risk is a hard landing in 2026. That's the concern.
Interesting. I do want to talk about technology names because 4 of the so-called Magnificent 7 will report earnings this week: Apple, Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla. How are these companies faring, and what does that mean for the broader market?
Well, I like all 4 of them, but the one that I really focus on is Tesla because of the DeepSeek controversy. What we're really talking about is the fact that we're moving from the infrastructure phase to the application phase. That's Tesla. That's Palantir. So I really like Tesla here, and I think it's being, shall we say, ignored a little bit. The rest of them are world-class companies in secular growth areas, stable earnings, strong free cash flow, fantastic management teams, and they should be core positions in your portfolio. How
does crypto factor into your market outlook?
Well, I like crypto, and I think that Bitcoin is a solution to the deficit problem. It is an asset class, but I think, as Mr. Fink says, I think tokenization is the big theme that's coming. And what's very interesting is that the NYSE and NYSE are already involved in that with a couple of small companies. So I am very encouraged about tokenization and crypto. And what we get is we've delayed blockchain innovation for about 4 years because of the Biden administration. Now it's time to catch up. So I think it's a very interesting area.
Crypto 200,000 on Bitcoin year end. Are you in that camp?
Yes. Yeah, I think by the end of the 4 years. So let's go. End of Trump's term. S&P 14,000.
Wow.
And crypto is going to be north of $500,000, or Bitcoin will be north of $500,000.
That is a bullish call. So we're talking about a more than doubling of the S&P 500, and certainly for crypto, more than quadrupling.
Yes, and with what's happening with DeepSeek, what we've got is the arms race is on. right? And Mr. Trump has said the U.S. is open for business. Mr. Besant, who's the new Treasury Secretary, just got confirmed, is saying productivity growth is the way to go. Buckle up. The next 4 years is going to be wild.
All right, Jim Thorne, Chief Market Strategist at Wellington Altus. Jim, thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me.